Hello there! I'm Nate Hovee, and welcome to another exciting video. I'm here in Clark, Philippines, located just north of the capital city Manila, and behind me is Clark International Airport's brand new terminal, which is slated to open later this year. Once fully operational, this airport will be capable of handling over 12 million passengers every year. Obviously, the coronavirus pandemic has presented tremendous challenges, both for the airport and the travel industry as a whole. Nonetheless, construction has pressed on as part of President Rodrigo Duterte's Build, Build, Build infrastructure program. This mega project has been labeled a game changer here, and today, I'm excited to give you an exclusive sneak peek of this 21st century gateway to the Philippines. Over the last few decades, Clark has been a rapidly growing international hub, with passenger numbers nearly quadrupling over the last 5 years alone, excluding the dramatic decrease during the pandemic. It's worth noting that Clark's history points to tremendous changes and evolving purposes over time. Originally built as a U.S. Army airfield at Fort Stotzenburg in 1917, the airport quickly became a vital part of the United States military presence in East Asia and the Pacific. Later renamed Clark Air Base under the newly established U.S. Air Force, the area where I'm standing now played key roles in World War II and the Korean and Vietnam Wars. I've actually covered the incredible history and stories of Clark Air Base in another detailed video on my channel, and you can click on the pop-up banner here or the first link in the description below to watch it now for further context. I think you'll find it quite interesting. To quickly summarize, Clark Air Base was eventually abandoned and officially handed over to the Filipino government by the Americans in 1991, following the devastating volcanic eruption of nearby Mount Pinatubo, which destroyed or heavily damaged most of the base. With heaps of ash and mud everywhere, cleanup efforts in and around Clark took several years, but the airport eventually reopened as part of the new Clark Special Economic Zone. The government envisioned a much larger aviation hub that could become a premier gateway to the country. Today, there's still plenty of room to grow. Clark International Airport covers an area of almost 24 square kilometers, or approximately 9 square miles, making it the largest airport nationwide in terms of land area. In fact, it is 4 times larger than the country's busiest airport in Manila. The airport still utilizes the main runway and air traffic control tower built by the United States military. The terminal building behind me, which completed a major renovation in 2013, nearly exceeded its capacity of 4.2 million passengers annually at the end of 2019. In order to accommodate growth and alleviate congestion at Manila's Ninoy Aquino International Airport, work commenced on a new $187 million terminal in December 2017. Years later, Clark's new state-of-the-art terminal is complete, making this one of the fastest airport projects ever in the Philippines. It is estimated that the government employed approximately 7,000 workers for construction. Paving and work on interior finishes are ongoing, but officials project that the official opening is only months away. Now, I've fortunately been given special early access to the terminal by the Bases Conversion and Development Authority, or BCDA, and Luzon International Premier Airport Development Corporation, or simply LIPAD. BCDA is the primary government group responsible for overseeing the transformation of Clark International Airport and the former American base as a whole into a modern, sustainable aerotropolis that can rival other prominent hubs throughout Asia. Last month, BCDA formally handed over the new terminal building to LIPAD, the private company that will oversee the interior fit-out as well as manage maintenance and operations of the passenger terminal for 25 years. Obviously from the outside, the architecture of Clark's new terminal makes a bold statement. The uneven wavy design of the roof provides a sense of place in its representation of Mount Pinatubo and the nearby Zambales mountain range. And the floor-to-ceiling windows right here allow light to flood into the departures area. Passengers will be able to look out and get panoramic views of the surrounding forests and jagged mountains off in the distance. It really is a nature-inspired grand entrance. Okay, before I step inside, we have to take a few precautions. I'm going to add a mask. I've got a bright vest here, look a little bit more official. And of course, our handy-dandy hard hat. Now let's go inside for an exclusive tour. Come on. Upon entering the departures area, you can see just how spacious this terminal is. The entire building covers an area of about 101,000 square meters, which is more than twice the size of the aging terminal it will be replacing. Look up and you'll see the impressive ceiling height at 20 meters really adds to the vertical space. You notice once again the stunning curved roof lines, and there are skylights built into the ceiling that allow even more natural light into this space. Something I absolutely love are these wooden support beams and trusses. The type of wood is white spruce, and it was imported here all the way from Austria. I have to say, it really warms up the interior and strikes a balance with the metal and concrete being used throughout. Another design element I want to point out is the unique pattern of these wooden beams. The triangular and diamond shapes were inspired by the famous giant lanterns of this region, Pampanga. The Giant Lantern Festival takes place in the nearby city of San Fernando every year around the Christmas and New Year holidays. I'll add that the roof itself is made of high-grade aluminum and can withstand typhoon-strength winds. The Philippines gets slammed by multiple typhoons every year, so I would say this is a necessity. Like I said, work on the interior is ongoing, but you can already begin to see where the check-in counters will be located. A central security and immigration area is being set up in the middle with spaces for shops, restaurants, offices, and bathrooms on either side. Okay, let's go through and take a look at the airside part of the terminal. Got my tour guide here, Bo. It's really great to be exploring the terminal. I just love seeing what this is going to look like in a few months when it opens. All right, we are now beyond the security checkpoint, and this is where passengers will walk to their gates down one of 3 corridors that branch off in a T-shape from the terminal's core. This long corridor behind me is designated for domestic flights, and once again you notice how these floor-to-ceiling windows pull the outside world in, making each corridor appear much larger and more inviting. You can see signage already placed in certain spots, and moving walkways and escalators will be installed shortly to make getting around easier. Another really interesting design feature will be the distinctive color palette of the boarding gate areas. The seats and flooring in the domestic corridor will evoke Manila Bay to the south with various shades of blue, while shades of green in the international corridors will represent Mount Arayat and the national park directly to the east. I will mention that Mount Arayat is a lone inactive volcano that dominates the skyline throughout Pampanga, and, as you can see here, is clearly visible from the airport. It's certainly a breathtaking backdrop for aircraft landing and taking off right outside. Check it out. With the wide open design and tall ceiling, you can look all the way back and see the forested hills through the windows of the check-in area on the opposite end. Pretty much anywhere you turn, you have incredible natural landscapes, amazing architecture, and airport activity on the tarmac to take in. I know this will be especially appreciated by both professional and social media photographers. I'm now standing inside one of 18 link bridges that will connect the terminal to parked aircraft outside. The gates will accommodate both wide and narrow-body aircraft. So while departing passengers will head down stairs or escalators to this lower level to access the aero bridges, arriving passengers from abroad will go in this direction towards the international transfers area and immigration. Follow me. Like other modern hubs in Asia, Clark's new terminal will expedite the transit process, allowing passengers to easily get to a connecting flight without having to go through immigration, customs, and the full check-in process upstairs in the main hall. This dedicated transfer space will make that not only possible, but efficient for arriving passengers. Here's where travelers will pass through immigration before collecting their bags and walking out of the terminal. From the artistic renderings, it looks roomy and welcoming. Just beyond, this winding walkway leads to a giant hall for baggage claim. Oh, wow. With its large columns and high ceiling, this two-story baggage claim area could almost be described as a cavern. In fact, designers plan to incorporate artistic paneling on the walls and ceiling to represent the many caves throughout the Pampanga region. Through here, you have the international arrivals meet and greet area. Once outside, arriving passengers will be able to walk to nearby parking lots in front of the terminal, as well as a transit center offering bus services to local and regional destinations across Luzon. A new road will also connect the terminal to the main SCTEX highway, significantly reducing congestion inside Clark and shortening driving times. If all goes according to plan in the coming years, Clark International Airport will expand dramatically to include several more terminals, 2 more parallel runways, a brand new air traffic control tower, set to be the tallest in the country at approximately 54 meters, and even an underground railway station, which will be located right over here next to the airport parking lot. Express trains will one day connect Clark International Airport to Metro Manila, cutting travel times between the 2 urban areas to only 55 minutes. It's taken me over 4 hours to complete that journey by bus during peak transit periods, so I'd say that's a gigantic leap forward. As you can see, there's a lot to look forward to as the airport here in Clark redefines itself as a premier aviation hub capable of meeting ever-growing demand. From its intriguing history to the fast-paced development of Pampanga's future aerotropolis, I hope you've enjoyed this comprehensive walkthrough of Clark International Airport's brand new terminal. It's certainly been a huge privilege for me, and I want to thank BCDA and LIPAD for making it all possible. If you would like to learn more and check out the latest updates on what's taking place here in Clark, be sure to take a look at the description below for details. From the beautiful island of Luzon, Philippines, I wish you and your loved ones many happy trails ahead. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you again soon.